All right, good afternoon to you out there. Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, 1010XL app. You'll see us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all that good stuff. YouTube as well. Just hot off the radio of Jaguars today, 10 to 12 noon, of course, on Fridays. And in between my time with the ladies of helmets and heels, Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. Always a great time. Looking forward to that show in just a little bit. My show brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. You can see them right there on the screen. They're always there for you. I got J-Dog junk removal and hauling for all your construction debris and any kind of move-outs, turnarounds, whatever. Apartment building, home, just a shed out back. You want to get it taken care of. J-Dog will do that for you. 904-506-1256. For them, the rest of Team Tommy Mac, I'll tell you about it. You can always check them out at TommyMac.net. All right, so I'm here in the 1010XL studios. It's Friday. Our Jaguars are over in London. The LA Rams will be taking off tonight. We'll see if that is a good strategy or not. I don't understand it. It did get just announced that Puka Nacua will not be playing. So he will not be I don't think he'll even make the trip, but he will not be in the lineup. Excuse me, for the Rams. We'll go through it. We'll go through the team stats. We'll go through the players. We'll go through some different things. Both teams are 4-2. The two losses for the Rams are to the Eagles by 7 and to the Niners by 3 in overtime. Their wins, how about this? All against AFC opponents. They've beaten all of our AFC South counterparts in Houston, Tennessee, and Indianapolis. I thought they'd beat Indy, and they did. They've got a coach in Sean McVay that's been very successful, has his team ready to play. Regardless of who's available, they will come full speed ahead. There's no doubt about that. Of course, there's that connection between Liam Cohen and Sean McVay as they work together with the LA Rams, total of 4 years. So the pupil meeting the teacher, if you will. I'm sure Liam Cohen doesn't want to be called that. I'm not really calling him that, but you get the drift. I'm sure they both want to beat each other very, very badly. Of course, James Gladstone came from the Les Snead tree in L.A., so that whole connection, as we all know. So it should be a very good game, a very close game. I got us winning. I do. It's going to be tight, though, 23-21. I'll tell you this. I'm probably going to put money on the points on Hard Rock Bet. I'll probably lay down some money on that one. I really feel strongly. Right now, I think we're at -3 for the game. I know this morning it was Rams -3. I think I'd take those points if I'm the Jags, or I'm going to take them. And I'll tell you how we'll get it done. Of course, you look at Matthew Stafford, who's one of the better quarterbacks in the National Football League and has for a very long time, having another good year, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 8.1 yards per attempt. And for the record, I was thinking about this morning, I most of the time, that yards per attempt it dictates how far, they're throwing the ball down the field on a per attempt basis. Now, they factor in yak, you know what I mean? So you could catch a slant and go 50, and they're going to give you that yardage, right? So it's not a 50-yard pass, but it resulted in that. So you got to be a little careful with that, but it does show you who's throwing the ball downfield for the most part and who is not. Matthew Stafford currently has a 106.2 rating. Trevor Lawrence, 6.3 yards per attempt, 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. They've both been sacked. Stafford 11, Trevor 13 times. Both have given up about the same amount of QB hits, 35 for Trev, 33 for Matthew. Trevor's got an 81.9 rating. It's interesting, and I didn't think about this, and I don't know how many people have. I know some people have, and this is, I was talking about it with Mike Dempsey before the show and Fat Tony, who's not fat. But last night on The Horse's Mouth, we had a return guest, a guy named John Frederick, really nice guy. He's got Freddie Media. He's a marketing guy in the automotive industry. So we just, at the end of the segment, I typically ask, how you feeling about your Jags and that type of thing. And he made a comment about, Trevor Lawrence and the fact that Liam Cohen came from the LA Rams organization, which did what? They shipped their number one pick in Jared Goff to the Detroit Lions in return for Matthew Stafford and a couple first round picks. Now think about that. Jared Goff had been a Pro Bowl. I mean, he didn't have terrible years at all. I mean, they weren't like elite, but they were solid years. And they went to the Super Bowl. But check this out, and I'm only bringing this up because of Liam went through, like he was there when this was going on, or just got there. Maybe just got there, but he's aware of it. And what did Sean McVay do? Like when this was going down, I know it shocked Jared Goff. It shocked the world. Like you're like, what? And then you're like, Stafford, congrats, man. You're going to LA from Detroit. We'll see how that goes. But think about that for just a second. And John Frederick's like, how do you know we wouldn't do that? Now, there's nobody, we went through it, me and Mike Dempsey went through it. The only guy maybe today that you would flop, you send Trevor and get this player, who knows about the draft picks. But right now, it'd just be Dak Prescott. That would be the only guy that you would potentially go after and swap. I don't think either team would do it. I'm not saying that. But I found it interesting that this gentleman's like, yeah, think about it. Like, and then you're like, look, it's a copycat league. And I'll tell you, I wrote it down. Why did McVay trade Jared Goff to the Lions in March of 2021? He lost confidence in Goff to take them to the next level. They were in the Super Bowl in 2018. Again, 2 years later, traded. Turnovers, inconsistency, struggles under pressure were the reasons why that move got made. So just something to chew on. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I will say this, and look, I want nothing but the best for Trevor, but and he's been good at times. He's just not, again, inconsistent. He's consistently inconsistent. Hopefully that changes. But it is what it is. And if that's just the way he is, then we're just going to have to live by it. Now, that doesn't mean they will. They didn't re-sign him. They didn't give him the contract. Now, someone's going to have to take that contract. This is getting way ahead of ourselves because Trevor's not been the problem. He's been part of the problem. I mean, you can tell that Liam Cohen gets frustrated from his quarterback when he misses throws or the throws aren't in the right spot. I mean, they got to be in the right spot. I've been preaching about that for years. Timing and where you place the football are absolutely humongous. And, so anyway, I just found that very interesting that, I mean, they're a few years in and you go watch a documentary with Goff in it. He was shocked. He was almost crying years later. Like it was an emotional thing for him. But anyway, just something to chew on. I thought that was pretty interesting. I mentioned Puka Nacua will not be there, but I did find this interesting as well. So, look, Davante Adams, we know he crushed us with the Jets a year ago, got down the field and really destroyed us. But I noticed something. So in ESPN, their stat line for receivers, one of the columns is big, which is big play, which is, catching a ball 20 yards or more or creating 20 yards or more. Puka Nacua has 9 big plays. Davante Adams has 8. Brian Thomas is 5, and Travis Hunter has 3. Travis Hunter's only getting 32.8 yards a game. Davante Adams is getting 66. That's even better than Brian Thomas, and he's their number 2. They throw the ball down the field more. I mentioned that. I think the big thing is, our O-line, was that like just an anomaly last week, or is that something people are going to take advantage of? It can't happen. It can't happen. The running back room's pretty tight. Kyron Williams is a very good back. If you get him going, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to give up a lot of points and yards. He averages 4.4 yards a carry. He's at about 70 yards a game. ETN's at almost 80 yards a game, and he averages 5.3. I'm taking ETN. I want those outside runs, guys. Come on. The one way you can stop that front four from getting that penetration is knocking them in, right? Blocking down, trapping, get ETN up and through and out, or start him out and then let him do his cut. But we need that running play more than not. We saw Tootin bounce out last week for a 9-yard game. Let's see more of that. Get them running sideways instead of north and south. And if they go north and south, trap them, right? But that back's got to hit at the right time. The block's got to come at the right time. We've seen them do the tight end trap quite a bit. Robert Hainsey is back. That's a good thing. Practiced all week. Doesn't sound like he has any limitations. That's fantastic. No question about it. Again, I'm not going to draw a line in ink about this offensive line just yet. I got to see more. I want to see more of what they were doing in weeks 1 through 4. I think it starts with the physicality. Okay, and the Rams are going to be physical. They're just like the Seahawks. You're almost seeing the exact same team. A little bit better quarterback, quarterback, obviously. Receivers about equal. Lines about equal. Defensive lines about equal. They're a good team, man. They're a good team. And if we don't match that intensity, we're going to have a problem. There's no question about that. Special teams, we've got the nod. We do. Our kicker's better by a little bit. Our punter's better by a lot. And our return game's better by a little bit. Our punt return averaging 13.9 a return. They're at 9.1. They've made 10 of 13. We've made 10 of 13. They've made 10 of 14. They've missed 2 extra points. How do these kickers miss extra points? They should be, I don't know, just beaten. How do you miss an extra point? But he's got 2. Joshua Carty. Of course, Cam's missed 1. We got to take care of that. So special teams is a good one for us. We need our kicker to make kicks. That's what you're paid to do, and there's no excuses. Unless it's beyond 50, I'll give you an excuse beyond 50. Other than that, you should be making every single one. That's what most of the good ones do. So, look, special teams will help. Look, we did the tail of the tape. If you were listening to the radio, most of the check marks except 2 went to the Rams. There was a push. The running back room was a push. The D-line, I gave it to them. We don't know if how effective Trayvon's going to be. Josh Hines-Allen's got to step it up, man. This is I don't want to hear pressures. Pressures are so overrated. QB hits are not overrated at all. And this guy, Byron Young, he's had, a couple games, at least one game with 5 quarterback hits. He's smashing quarterbacks. So we need more of that. Half a sack 6 games in is terrible for a guy that's being paid. And I hate saying it because I don't care what he's being paid. I hope they make as much money as humanly possible for them. But you got to play up to the contract. And Josh Hines-Allen has not. He's not. And there's a few other guys that haven't either, but he's one of them. And he's got to step up. They're okay. Their tackles are okay. Allard Jackson was a pretty sought-after free agent. Most teams wanted him at guard, but they got him at left tackle. And Havenstein he's questionable, but he's been a solid right tackle in his career. Kind of a big mauler type. Their guards are massive. They have a different approach. We have more smaller, lighter, more athletic guards. They've got the beef, 340, 330. And they bring it. It's going to be interesting. We'll get through the team stats brought to you by Team Tommy Mac in just a little bit. But this is a game that's going to show us and tell us a lot about this Jaguar team. I thought last week would. And unfortunately, it did tell us something. It told us we're not as good as we think we are. Now, that doesn't mean we're not as good as it doesn't mean we're not good. It just means that we've got to approach this game as a game that we just got to have. Okay, you would have raised both eyebrows last week if you beat Seattle at home. You'll raise one this week if you beat the Rams in London. I mean, this is a big game for both teams. It's a big game for both coaches. They want to have bragging rights. We want to have bragging rights. You know, I thought Dempsey always has good points. We made a good point about Campanile. He's never gone against a Sean McVay offense. Has he? Maybe with Green Bay, but not as a coordinator. That play calling is going to be interesting. How do you attack Stafford? You better get some shit done from your front four. You better get them active. And if you got to bring 5, 6, 7, I don't care, bring them. But you got to make sure Stafford just don't sit back there and pick us apart, because he's very capable of doing that, as we all know. He's got the weapons still. Whittingham still. Look, Higbee, Whittingham, these guys, they can play. They can play. I know they're not going to have Puka Nacua, but they have other players that can get down the field and hurt our team. So can we match it? Can we match? I did notice Ty Hamilton, a backup defensive tackle, is Devon Hamilton's younger brother. How about that? They'll see each other probably tomorrow, as the Rams won't get there till the morning. That'll be interesting how that works out. I like what Liam did and the organization did leaving early. Basically spending the entire week in London and treating it like a normal week. Forget where we're at. Next week's a bye week. Any jet lag or whatever, you'll be through it by the time the week's over. You might be a little groggy, and get back to practice, but you'll be fine. So we go there, we have a normal week. I think that's the way to go when you have a bye week. Now, I don't think you can do that when you got to play a game right away, because you wouldn't be able to acclimate back to the jet lag, for lack of better terms. I'm not a jet lag expert, but you know what I'm saying. So it'll be interesting with the Rams. The Rams have a bye week. They've been in Baltimore all week, practicing at Camden Yards and getting some baseball in. I saw where Stafford got to throw a few pitches, and they're taking some infield and all types of stuff. So they're on a little break, I guess, as well. They stayed on the East Coast, and they jump over tonight. So we'll see which strategy's better. I know for me as a player, I'd like to have as much normalcy as possible. Now, they're staying out in the grove, so they're not in, where all the action is. I'm sure they got to – they had to have one night off. Or you got to give them one night off. I mean, you got it. Now, I would strongly suggest – I know I shouldn't say I saw. I heard that there's video of the players and their wives, like, doing some sightseeing and things like that. I don't really like that, just for the mere fact that you're on your feet. I don't care that you go do it. You do what you want. But you got to make sure you stay off your feet and make sure you're well rested. Again, I don't care that they went out with their wives. They should. I just meant like walking around. I wouldn't like all that. I want them to be chilled out. But if they do it early in the week, then you'll be fine. So it'll be 9:30 kickoff. Come join me in Monkey's Uncle in Jacksonville Beach, right there on 3rd Street and 17th is the crosser, I believe. It's in North Jacks Beach, right before Fletcher. It's on an end cap of a strip center. Monkey's Uncle, absolutely phenomenal. By the way, 2 doors down, Wild Ginger, one of my favorite sushi places if you want to grab sushi at some point this weekend. Going to do the Buddy Walk tomorrow in Jacks Beach. Family's going to do that, so looking forward to that. And then looking forward to partying with all of you on Sunday at Monkey's Uncle, man. Let's get into it. It's going to be fun. A great weekend of the National Football League. Last week I won 11-3, Dempsey 7-7, Tony 9-5, but we go by points, and I came out the loser in points. All my top confidence picks didn't make it, but after that I hit on all of them. I do have the Jags winning 23-21. I'll tell you why. And a lot of times I'll do this with teams because I think it bears true most times than not. I look at points for and points against, and then I match it against the other team and then find the happy medium, the cross happy medium. I forget what they call that thing. But you find the medium between the two, and then you can figure it out from there. And then I'll add, like, on the road, at home, who's injured, who's not. But that's how I've been doing it. But the week before I struggled like everybody else, although I finished 7-6, 11-3 this time around. I'll tell you who I have going in this week. I've got our Jags. I got Chicago at home, Cleveland at home. I think Miami's in disarray. New England on the road. Tennessee blows. And New England, Vrabel is not losing to Tennessee. Kansas City at home. They'll crush Vegas. By the way, be out in Vegas in 2 weeks. But going to be fun hanging out at the Circa Resort and Casino. Hope you guys, if you're going out for the Raider game, come and join Circa. A lot of fun. A great spot. Minnesota at home, going to upset Philly, I say. Carolina will take care of the Jets on the road. Denver at home. Chargers at home over Indy. Dallas at home. They get CeeDee Lamb back. Green Bay on the road. Atlanta on the road. Tampa on the road. And then Seattle back at home. Obviously, the most important is our Jaguars. And can they bounce back from a bad loss? It was bad. You got out physical. You got beat up. I mean, you did. Both sides. It wasn't just the O-line. D-line, there were too many guys on their back. I mean, like pancaked on their back. Where's Saunders Sr.? Why isn't Colin playing? Why'd you trade for him? Is he not better than Austin Johnson? I've seen Austin Johnson get knocked back a few times now. Double teams, but hey, that's the job. And he's getting knocked right into the linebackers. That's not doing the job. Deham's done a nice job on the double teams. I think Deham's has had a pretty good year, but we need that other tackle to help out. Armstead's, but he's got 3.5 sacks. You can't complain about that, but he can't disappear. He disappears from time to time. And then, of course, we'll see about Trayvon. And how about Agba? Come on, Emmanuel. Like, you got to be that. You got to be that Arden Key that we used to have. Arden Key would give you a sack every so often. We need some more out of you, for sure. Smooth, just good against the run. Got a sack early, but need more out of him too. So look, that at the end of the day, we bring back that physicality, and we got a shot at beating the LA Rams. And again, even with Nakua, we got a shot. Obviously he brings more weaponry to the table. It can really hurt you, but I think look, we're up for the challenge. My gut's telling me last week was more of an anomaly. It's amazing I can say that word. Normally I can't because of my speech problems, but I don't think that's the norm, and it can't be, because if it is, you better figure it out. And I'm looking at Walker Little and Ezra Cleveland and Anton. I think the other two were fine. They weren't perfect. Curry got beat a couple of times. So did Monheim. But overall, those two weren't the weak links. It was the tackles and the left guard. But they've been good otherwise. KC a little leaky, but overall they've been good. They've been opening up holes, keeping their quarterback clean until what? Last week. I mean, we went from one of the top in the league giving up QB hits to now in the middle of the pack, because we gave up 17 quarterback hits. Just absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Some good news. Jordan Lewis, 7 passes defense, tied for the lead, or tied for 5th in the NFL. Batting down passes, 2 picks, ties him for 5th. Of course, Devin Lloyd out of the game, and he leads the league in interceptions. Phenomenal. No doubt about that. Of course, we'll see Ventrell Miller. Maybe we'll see Jack Kaiser if need be, but I think you're going to see 51 and 23 for the most part. They'll be in dime a lot as they'll spread us out. Got to be careful of that tight end, Higbee. He's only got 1 touchdown, but tight end seems to be a problem for us from time to time, so we're going to have to lock that down. But at the end of the day, our D-line and O-line got to get back to winning the line of scrimmage, or we will not win this game. And that goes for the rest of the games. In my opinion, you got to start with that. All right, let's get into some team stats brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. I mentioned JDog, jdog.com. Check them out. You can also check them out. You see right on the screen. Thank you, Jacob, for putting that up there. We got a great digital team led by Taylor Dahl and company, Trent, and, of course, Jacob doing a great job. You go to TommyMac.net and see all of the great logos, and click on the logos. It'll take you right to their respective website and learn all about them. Of course, when I tag them on Facebook and other social media, you'll see all of that. Carpetman Flooring, LVP. Carpetman's LVP. Carpetman.biz. Highest quality, lowest prices. Chris Rousseau with bail bonds. I always got to tell you on Friday about that. 904-822-2245. You get thrown in the clink, they get you out in a blink. It's a true story, man. 24/7. I've seen them live. Put that number down. 904-822-2245. Of course, Morgan and Morgan, Pound Law, that's all. Azar Sausage, the #1 sausage in the land. Winn-Dixie, and now Native Son. Code Ninjas for your kids and their technology needs. 5 great locations. Salt Air Inn and Suites, a great boutique hotel in Atlantic Beach. 4 blocks from the ocean, 2 blocks from all the action. Great action. May have to head up there later today if I'm not too tired from talking all day. Been singing, I've been talking. I just love it. Love it all. Coconut Joe's hot sauces. They're on our table. They should be on yours. Go to FamilyTraditionsSpecialtyFoods.com. Rick O'Connor's Allstate Insurance Agency. Rick does a great job handling all your insurance needs. St. John's, St. Aug, and Jacksonville for his great locations. He's at JNZ Insurance on Facebook, so click on that one. And then, of course, Baracus Group, now helping you stay protected, not only at your home place of business, but while you travel. They've added a fleet of luxury vehicles to make sure you have a great night out of the town and very safe. And, of course, last but never least, is my man, Courtney Myers, the fractional CFO that every business needs for your financing needs. It's Freedom Finance. Go to freedomfinance.llc. Bookkeeping, forecasting, raising money. He does it all and does a great job. Of course, 1010XL. I love being part of this big family. It's so much fun. We got to do it's a sitcom out there. I'm telling you. It is. I know WKRP in Cincinnati. That was a great show back in the day, but it's kind of like that. Well, not really, but it's just funny like that, sitcom kind of stuff, man. Great stuff. All right, team stats. Let's start it off. We're going to start with the penalties. Got back on the penalty train, and we've got 52 total penalties. They have 33. 52 divided by 6. That's almost 9 penalties a game. Got to fix them. Fine them. Run them. I don't know. Sit them down. Do something. All right, let's start with points like we always do. We do points, yards per carry, yards per attempt, plus percentage, completion percentage, third down conversion rate, fourth down conversion rate, sacks given up, sacks taken, interceptions thrown, interceptions taken, and then turnover ratio, which is always a big one. All right, we're pretty close in points. Actually, we're very close. They give up 18.3 points per game. That's third in the NFL. We give up a flat 20, which is like fifth. We both score 23 points a game. They're at 0.3, we're at 0.2, but it's the same. Hence, my 23-21 victory expectation because of the points. Yards per carry, we're at 4.7. Of course, ETN at 5.3. They're at 4.3. Kyron Williams, their lead horse, at 4.4. They give up 3.8 yards a carry. We give up 4.1, and that's down because we shut down Seattle's running game. Shut down Kyron Williams. You got a chance. I mean, Stafford can carry. He's that kind of QB. He is. He can carry the offense. No doubt. Don't matter who he's throwing to. None of that matters. He puts in the right spot all the time, for the most part. Unless you rattle him. Got to harass him. Got to get him off his spot. Yards per attempt, we're at 6.3. I mentioned that at 61% completion. They're at 8.1 at 66.5. They throw down their defense. They hold them pretty good at 6.4 yards per attempt, 66%. We're at 7.1, but it's 61% completion percentage. Third down, our offense not good at 35.44, 35%, 1 out of 3. Terrible. Got to be better. 41 we give up. They're at 40 on offense, which is good, and they give up 36.47. Granted, last week we went 1 of 12, and we lost the game. But we know why we lost it. 2 big plays that guys were out of position. Wingard, Newsome, and then Wingard again. So clean that up, and maybe we have a different outcome. Fourth down, it's amazing how many teams go for it on fourth down. The Rams defense is 12 of 17. They give it up 71% of the time. We were 3 of 3 last week. Fourth down is no joke. As long as it's near the 50 or over it, I'm good. You got to be careful, depending on point of game and how far you're down, but you got to be careful doing it like on your own 30. I know we've seen it before, but I wouldn't do that. Their offense 6 of 10 conversion on fourth down. Our offense 6 of 9, about the same. And then we're 2 of 5. We're at 40%, so we're better at that. Sacks, they've given up 11. We've given up 13. Stafford's been hit 33 times. Trevor 35 times. Pretty close. Here's a little different. They have 19 sacks. We have 8. They have 47 quarterback hits. We have 31. They have 30 tackles for loss. We have 23. They only give up 7 passing touchdowns. We give up 10. That's a big difference. We got to shore it up on offense and get that ball into our playmakers' hands. Let's go. Crossing routes, rub routes, get them open. That's the job. Interceptions, we've thrown 5. They've thrown 2. They only picked off 4. We've picked off 10, which is number 1 in the league. Way to go. Need some more. You see the difference with pressure and no pressure. With pressure, we get interceptions. No pressure, we don't get jack diddly at all. Turnover, we're +8. Still very good. They're +3, which is also pretty good, but we're very good. No doubt about that. That is Team Stats brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Pretty close. I mean, you look at it. Look at it. I'm still a writer. Man. I'll write it all down. I got to go this way for that. Oh, I did write down. After 6 weeks, Denver leads the NFL with 30 total sacks. These guys are at 19. They're third in the league, tied for third with 19 sacks. If you don't block them up, you're going to be in big trouble. All right, bread and butter plays for Trevor. The outs, quick out, swing. Get them going. Get the ball into playmakers' hands and bring back the physicality, man. If you're not physical, you're not going to win. You are not going to win. That's just the way it is. And when you show that you can whack people, and I listen, I know it's old school, but my late father, he used to tell me that in grammar school. I mean, it was embedded in me as a young kid. You out-physical the opponent. And if you don't, my dad let you know about it. He would. He would call you right out. After the game, at home, in the car, it didn't matter. If you weren't physical, and that meant in everything. Basketball, like if I wasn't rebounding with the vim and vigor that it takes, if I wasn't blocking the plate or getting mad at the baseball, he'd let me hear about it. It's all about being physical. And if you can be physical, you got a chance. I don't care what level we're talking about. And all that is attitude and will. All right? You need some strength. You need some athletic ability. You need that stuff. But it's really, it's here, it's the head, it's the heart, and it's the gut. And we should go by the gut more than anything in the world game of life. But on the field, you got to have the heart, man. You got to have the heart. You got to have the will to want to go knock the shit out of somebody. It's legal. It's fun, and you're protected more today than ever. But if you can do that, you got a shot. I got us winning 23-21. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not totally sold on our offense yet. I'm not sold. The defense worries me a bit. We're giving up 250-plus yards a game in the passing department. Did you know that? We're near the bottom of the league. That's not good. We got great takeaways, but we're giving up a shit ton of yards. And yards can be, how I feel about yards. I don't always think yards is the end-all, say-all, but you can't be rated last in the league. So hopefully that changes. They're going to have their hands full. It's going to be a great chess match. Our offense versus their D, our D versus their O. It's going to be fun. Come join me at Monkey's Uncle. Come on out. It's going to be a great time. 9:30 kickoff in the morning. We'll have some food. We'll have some beers. Have a Guinness or two. Bud Light sponsoring it. We'll have a couple Bud Lights, whatever it takes. And we'll enjoy it, no question about it. Helmets and Heels coming up at 2 o'clock. I'm going to get a sandwich, a hang sandwich, and have a little downtime. And I'll be ready to rock it. 2 o'clock sharp right here on Helmets and Heels at 1010XL. 1010XL.com and the 1010XL app. Big thanks to all of you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. And go Jags, baby. Come home with a W, and we'll have a bye week to celebrate all week long. That'll do it for me this time around. So until next time, y'all stay safe. Y'all be cool. And we'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace and love,